Sweet.
Okay, we're live.
Awesome. Very cool. Hey guys, welcome to the DIY Courage Chat with Brittany Bailey, aka Pretty Handy Girl, and myself, Sarah Bendrick. We've been doing this for quite a while. We just moved to Google as our new platform, and we love it. It's great. So if you guys are able to chime in, you want to leave us your comments, we're happy to ask any questions. We have an awesome guest today, Jen from Woodwork. Brittany, help me out. Was it?
Jen from House of Wood.
House of Wood.
Her blog is jenwoodhouse.com. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's amazing.
Yeah, so we're really excited to talk with her about DIY, how she got started, all that fun stuff. And if you guys, again, have questions, chime in. Duluth Trading Company, which is an awesome company, sponsors this chat. So at the end of it, we're going to give away a $100 gift card to any one of you who are commenting on the side. So we look forward to hearing your questions, and Brittany and I will get things started here in a little bit. We're going to try and get Jen on, but to start off, Duluth, which is the company that sponsors this, is a pretty awesome company. They have a lot of workwear. I wear their clothes a lot for work, and so does Brittany. She's wearing one of their hats, and I'm wearing one of their shirts. But all of them have kind of like cool little attributes to them that make it fun to wear outside. Like this shirt here is really rad because it actually has like a bra strap cover or holder thing, so you put your bra strap in here. Did you not see this?
No, I don't have that one.
This is awesome. So like, well, I'm wearing a sports bra, so it doesn't work as well today. But like with a regular bra, you just tuck it in and then you pin it down, and then you don't have like the weird like.
That's awesome. I think I need one of those now.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I have some of the No Yang tanks, and I wear them underneath shirts all the time. I love them, and because they're longer. But then today, I've been DIYing all day, and it's a good thing you guys don't have smell-o-vision because I absolutely stink. So this is oh my God, I've got to do something about my hair and cover it up, all that.
No, it looks fine. It looks fine. Man, what a busy day for you. I was not so physical today. I was mostly in front of the computer.
Oh, you lucky duck. I've been sweating in the heat and humidity. The good thing is I've been getting a good workout and I've been losing weight, and that's all good, but I am physically exhausted. I was telling Sarah before we went live that I've been sanding a screen porch for my stepmom. Some previous owner had put down Berber carpeting, and they had glued it to the screen porch. And so when I pulled up the carpeting, there was all this glue. And so I rented a sander, not a drum sander, a orbital sander. And it took all day to get the glue off this porch. So I finished, but
that sounds
horrible. Yeah, it was hard.
Not creative at all, but you do get a good sweat going.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So yeah, let's see if we can get Jen in. Eileen has sent her an invite. Let's see if I can send it to her again. And if you're watching, look in your email or look in your Google Plus. You should get an invite, and hopefully we can bring you in. Hey, but I wanted to let you know, so sanding your own floors is actually something you can do it yourself, but you and I were discussing that there's two different sanders for your floor. There's the orbital sander, which has 3 pads that kind of randomly sand, and that's really good for interior and if you don't want to worry about gouging into your floor, because the other one is a drum sander, and that one, if you hold it still, it will wear through to China. So, but you can rent the sanders from Home Depot, and they're like, I think I paid $69 for one day. So
you rent it?
Yeah, you buy the sanding pads for it. It's very economical.
Is that $69 including the rental?
Yeah, no, that was the cost of the rental, and the pads were like $1.70 each, and you have to buy 3 in each grit.
And do you have to change them throughout the sanding process, or just one pad did it?
It depends. If you aren't good about removing staples and nails, then you might rip into the sanding pad, but I used, I think, 2 sets for the lowest grit, which is 36, to really get that glue off, and then I only used 1 set of a 60 and another set of a 80, I think. Or no, 100 grit. That was the final one.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
Well, let's see. Is
it working? I'm guessing it's working.
Yes.
Guys, down there.
Hi.
So Jen, can you hear us all right?
I can. Let me see if I can. If I don't use the earphones, then what? We get feedback? Is that what happens?
Sometimes. It depends.
I'm not using any.
Okay, let me see if
She's
it'll
a
work.
rebel. That's Sarah. She's a rebel. Sarah's a rebel. She likes to go earphoneless. I like to wear them because otherwise my kids come in and try to join the conversation.
Oh, God. Yeah, earphones are great for like I'm working, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, go ahead and talk to us. I'm not sure if we can hear you or not.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I hear you now.
Yay! Okay, good.
Cool. Well, welcome to our DIY Courage Chat. We're so excited to have you. I know that you and Brittany have known each other for a little while, and I'm excited to get to know you.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get to see Jen in 3 days? 4 days?
What are you guys doing?
Yes.
We're going to the Haven conference in Atlanta. It's the blogger conference. So
Wow.
we gotta get you to come sometime, Sarah. It's a lot of fun.
I think I need to start blogging to be able to go.
We'll sneak you in.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, I need to go. You know, Brittany and I have never met, and we've been doing this like at least over a year. It's crazy, Jen.
That's awesome.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, Brittany, do you want me to lead, or do you want to go into the questions that you had pre-written?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask a couple questions. So Jen, we like to kind of give our readers a little bit of background about you, and then also mainly like what gives you DIY courage. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and hopefully they won't be too challenging.
Okay.
I know that you have a secret talent, or maybe it's not so secret, but I'm really curious what you did professionally before blogging.
Before blogging, I was a musician, and I toured around the world and played music and wrote music and pitched music to TV and film and just kind of did the singer-songwriter thing.
Dang, we have a rock star in our presence.
I know see, I knew she was a singer, but I didn't know if that's what she did before. That's impressive.
Really? That is crazy. What type of music, or all types?
Yeah, no. So I wrote my own music, and I would describe it as if Amy Winehouse and Nora Jones had a baby.
Oh, wow.
That sounds really like it would be good music.
Yeah, sort of like pop rock with some jazz in there.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So is this still available? Like, can I buy some of your music on iTunes?
Yeah.
Okay, and is it under Jen Woodhouse, or what should I look for?
Yeah, just search Jen Woodhouse. It's on iTunes and Amazon and anywhere else that you can find it. But
wait, is Woodhouse really your name?
Yeah, well, that's my maiden name. Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought that was just a blogger name.
I did too.
That is so rad. I am so gonna look that up. I love music, and that sounds really like
yeah. I know. And then when I had kids, then I was like, all right, touring has to stop, but I was still writing, and so writing for film and TV and stuff like that. So I was able to do that from home, so that was really cool.
Wow.
That's
wow,
awesome.
that's so rad. I'm so gonna check that out now.
She's a rock star all around.
So cool. Well, that's so cool. All right, so you were a rock star, and then how did you go from rock star to DIY blogging?
Oh my gosh. So when pregnant ladies get this like nesting instinct, my nesting instinct kind of manifested itself into building stuff. So I stumbled across Anna White's website, and then the way that I read her plans, it reads like a recipe, and I thought, man, I think I can do this. And so 6-7 months pregnant, I started building.
Do you have any photos of that? I'd love to see that.
Yes, I do actually, like old blog posts, and so yeah, it was pretty funny because at the time I didn't own a saw or anything, and I just kind of was like waddling up and down Home Depot, and then the guys are like, well, "Can I help you? And are you lost?"
Aww.
And I was like, "No, I just need to build this thing." And I was like, "I need you to cut all of these pieces for me." And he's like, "That's a lot." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know saw, so." But yeah, so then until I got that saw for the first time, it was like I had all of the Home Depot guys cut my lumber, and then I just take it home and assemble it and all that stuff. So it's kind of how I got started.
That's
Well,
so cool.
You have to see. I'm going to go ahead and post. For some reason, I can't get the Q&A to work, and I think.
But we found it at the end last time.
Yeah. Well, I have the group chat working, but.
I see a link that just popped up.
Yeah, I'm worried that only the three of us can see it. So what we probably need to do is, if anybody's watching on Twitter, will you guys go ahead and tweet us and let us know if you can see. If you can see the Q&A, because every time I try to enable it, it says it's disabled. The other thing too, I think actually in Google Plus, people can comment below. In Google Plus, no.
Okay.
So hey Jen, so the House of Wood, is it a full-time job now, or is it kind of a side gig? I know you still do some performing, but how much of your time does it take up?
Oh yeah, it's a full-time gig now. It takes up so much time. But I mean, it's a labor of love, right? So it's not really work.
Right, exactly. So it's pretty much a full-time job at this point, and you have kids as well, and balancing all that together. I know Brittany has kids too, so I'm just like, I don't know how you guys do it.
It's tough. I mean, and I don't do all of it very well. It's like when I do one thing really well, the other stuff I fail at, and then like when I do that thing really well, then I mean, it's a balancing act, but
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I saw that you did a cabin bed in a white. Was it? That was so rad. So what inspired that?
Oh, so fun. So like my husband actually was like, "Hey, do you think you can build this? This looks really fun." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I thought, "No, there's no way. I can't do that." And then like, I don't know. The more you think about it, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I can," and you just kind of jump in and yeah,
It's
fun.
I'm going to actually show you her bed. I'm going to do a screen share.
Sweet.
Hopefully. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go.
And is your husband handy as well? And is he encouraging or indifferent or whatever about what you do with blogging?
Oh, yeah, he's totally encouraging. I would say that, I don't know, I don't like to let him build with me because his idea of, is good enough. Like, if it works, it's fine or whatever, but it's not going to be pretty. So
Love that. Love that bed. So you're more of a perfectionist and he's more of a let's just get it done?
yeah, exactly.
That bed is so awesome. So you can find out how to build that on your blog, right?
Yeah. I worked with Anna White on that, and she drew up the plans, and I built it, and so yeah, she's got the plans on her site, and so anybody can build it. And we've actually seen it's been pretty popular. We've seen a lot of people building it and kind of like putting their own spin on it and everything. It's really cool to see that thing in everybody else's home,
That's pretty cool to know that something you create is being created by others, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, and it's great too. I mean, it's validating because people are saying, "Oh, it was so easy to follow. It's great. I've never built anything before," and so it's just really neat that it's effective in that way.
I mean, as you guys can see, she's got really great detailed photos, and I mean, it definitely makes it so that new builders can follow her instructions and really learn. And then she's got some videos on there, and it's such a cool bed. You're such a rock star.
A lot of fun, for sure. Like, your kids are only little for such a short time, so.
Yeah. So, what is one of your favorite pieces?
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, your sound cut out for a second, Sarah. It seems like it's back.
Over the mic. I'm good at that. Jen, what is one of your favorite pieces of furniture that you've built?
The cabin bed is one of them, and the other one is my daughter's bed, which is like a chevron. Like, it looks like it's made out of reclaimed wood, but I used all brand new wood for that, but just kind of like cleaned it in a way that it looked reclaimed.
This is definitely my favorite. I'll go ahead and screen share too, so you guys can see it. That is definitely my favorite bed.
And so, what do you use to age the wood? Just the style of staining, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So, is that all? Those are all different stains, or is it one stain that you kind of left on longer and not longer?
No, they're all different. I mean, I was like just experimenting with all different kinds of colors and then like layering things and mixing it up and playing chemist and just kind of there was no rhyme or reason. I just kind of like what about this color and how about that color?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
And again, she's got all the detailed.
So you build those in SketchUp then?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got plans for king, queen, full, and twin. So, you can build your own depending on what mattress size you have.
That's a lot of work to put those plans together.
It is, yeah. It's like countless hours. But, I mean, it's really awesome because people will send me photos or, like, tag me on social media, and I see that they've done it, and it's just like seeing your work come to life in that way is just really gratifying.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really something awesome.
All right, so I want to know: are there any builds or any projects that you were hesitant to take on?
Yeah, I think like all of them. I don't know, like cabin bed. I think it is intimidating at first because I'm like, oh, I'm just building a house, basically. I mean, without the electrical, so the scary stuff. But I think I do approach every project with some level of intimidation. Is it going to turn out well? Am I going to waste a lot of materials and it's going to be a complete fail? I don't know. So, but you just have to do it and jump in.
Do you usually plan the projects before you build them, or do you kind of have some materials and you're like, I want to make something with this, and then it becomes a project?
Both. Most of the time, I sketch it out in SketchUp first because I don't know. I mean, I'm not that what do you call it? Like I can't improvise very well. Like I have to prepare and I have to like.
I think that's great though that you are like that and that you're able to document it so well, because that's what allows people to follow you. Where I'm kind of more like, I have this, I'm going to make this
I know.
now.
That's what I'm Sarah, and it bites me in the butt all the time.
Yeah, I wanted to do it, but I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm indecisive as it is. Like I need, clear directions. So.
Yeah.
I definitely need to plan more. Because I end up wasting material, and I'll be like halfway through, and I'll be like, shoot, like it would make more sense to SketchUp, but I think I struggle with SketchUp so much. I need to go take that class at Haven.
Yeah, there you go. We'll do it at Haven. Yeah, I think that if you, I don't know. I mean, there is some value, obviously, in making those mistakes, because there are times that I document it and like, oh, I did this wrong. If I were to do it again, I would do it this way, and that helps, readers kind of like not have to make those mistakes, if you're setting them up for success.
There you go.
And how do you differentiate yourself from other bloggers, I guess, would you say, Jen?
From other like
builder bloggers, I guess, or do you, or does it even matter?
I'm not really sure. I think that I've just kind of had such a focused niche. Maybe I've pigeonholed myself a little bit, but
I think it's good.
I'm not really interested in a whole lot of things. Like I'm pretty like myopic, I guess.
I think it's good to have a niche and be like known for a certain thing.
Yeah, I mean I'm kind of experimenting with expanding the blog, but I don't know, it just hasn't felt organic yet. So like, and plus it's where my interest lies. It's like I want to build this thing or I want to build that thing, and I'm not do like home renovations or
Come on, Jen. I'll get you working on some home renovation projects. I think you'd like it.
Well, see, first I need a house, but we're like serial renters because the Army just keeps us moving.
Oh.
There's only so much I can do.
Yeah.
So I'm curious like you said you're kind of hesitant when you take on some new projects, but like what gives you that courage to go ahead and just take it on, just say whatever, I'm just going to do it?
I think so. I always think about like when my parents, we lived in a house with white walls, for like 20 years because they were just so afraid of making the wrong choice that they didn't make any choice at all, you know? And I think that's most of the battle is like you just have to jump in and do it, and even if you make a mistake, that's fine. At least you put something out there. But I think that's the hardest part is getting started and like actually doing it. I don't think the fear comes from am I going to fail or that. It's just the indecision or you know, that's kind of paralyzing. But if you just jump in, do it, and you know, then a lot of times it comes out like, oh, that's surprising, and I actually did well. So
once you get started, are you like fine? Like it's just kind of pulling an initial trigger to start it? Like once you start, are you still hesitant about every step, or do you just really?
No, not really. I think the starting is the hardest part, and then once you're going and you're like in the thick of it, you're like, well, it's too late now. I gotta keep going.
I think that's so true. I mean, there's so many times I build up projects so much in my head, but then once I get started, it's just kind of getting in the mindset of you're just doing it. I think I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm totally walking around. My computer's running low, and I'm like looking for an outlet that I don't need to like struggle with too much. All right, found one.
So I want to know. This is a question I love asking people because it's always fun to hear. You know, what you were like as a child, and is there any story or anything that you were like as a child that kind of foretold who you are and what you do today?
As a child, well, I've always been creative. Like whether it was, you know, making home videos or you know, like my sisters and I had like a comic book strip that we would draw and you know illustrate and do all that stuff. So I think just being creative has always been just a part of who I am. But I don't know. I mean, I think I didn't even see it coming because like my last name is Woodhouse, and I don't know. That was a little too literal, but. But I remember, like, there's a specific instance, not as a child, but I remember, like, watching the first the first episodes of Design Star.
Yeah.
Like, people were going around sewing things and, like, painting walls, and then there's the girl who's, like, doing the chop saw and building. And I remember specifically thinking, like, oh, I would love to be on that show, but I could never do what they're doing. Like, I cannot even build anything. Like, there's no way. And then looking back, you're like, oh, why did I ever think that, you know?
That's funny, yeah, because you can pretty much do that show blindfolded and your hands tied behind your back.
Isn't that interesting how something that you thought you couldn't do, you're totally doing now?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, as a child, you were not necessarily a builder.
No, I was more a performer and, you know, singer, and I'd set up all my, like, stuffed animals and have shows and concerts and all that stuff, but, yeah.
So, Jen, I think this is interesting because I was really creative as a child, and I drew a lot and always drawing, always painting, and then I went to school for illustration, but it's really funny how I've met a lot of DIY bloggers who were artists or are creatives, and they've just kind of pushed it to that next level.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, and I never really thought of, like, building or I wouldn't say woodworking, but, like, carpentry or anything like that as a creative thing, but it's absolutely a creative outlet, you know, and because I'm thinking of like how to design furniture or you know how to make it functional and beautiful and that sort of thing, and yeah, there's a lot of creativity that goes into it, but you wouldn't normally you know expect that.
Yeah, what I love about it, I think we make functional art, you could say. Absolutely. Yeah, some better than others, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Jen, do you have any advice for someone who's new to using power tools? Like any advice or any tool that maybe they should try first or just anything?
Yeah, just to do it. And not, you know, you may think that you can't, but I mean, you know, I'm like a stay-at-home mom and I have no training and
I know. Hi.
But just to do it, and especially now that there is so much information out there, that like people are giving you videos and tutorials and all that stuff, and so you can just do it and jump in and get dirty and make mistakes and
how do you mitigate safety? Like with this, maybe how do you mitigate safety? Like if it's a tool you haven't used before or something you're just not really sure what the boundaries are for safety.
Yeah, just research the heck out of it. I mean, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube that I just constantly am like YouTube tutorials, how to do this and how to do that. And so, I mean, most of the tools that I get out of the box, I have my husband get it out of the box, set it up for me, and show me how to use it, and then that's it.
So that's your confidence there. He's comfortable with it, and he's able to help keep an eye on safety as well as you researching.
Right.
Yeah, I always find finding somebody, gal, girl, whoever that's already used the tool. Like I don't like to jump in and practice with things that potentially cut my arm off. Yeah, it's always good to have a mentor, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because you also don't, when you think about these tools, you also don't know how they can be dangerous. If you're using a table saw, you don't know that it can kick back, and that's the most
dangerous.
Yeah, the most dangerous, the most common cause of injury and that sort of thing. So when you are researching and doing all that stuff, then you'll find out okay, where am I most at risk?
Exactly. Yep. Well, it looks like we have you.
Hang on a second. I had some feedback and I muted her. Now I got to unmute her. Sorry about that, Serena. Hang on.
I think I got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It wasn't you. It was me.
Sorry about that.
So Jen,
sometimes when I'm on Hangout, there's total feedback, and it's my fault.
I know. Hey, so Jen, if you want to hang around, you can, or if you want to head out, it's totally up to you. But thank you so much for letting us question you and for giving up some of your time on a Monday night.
Sure, thanks so much. I got to get these kids in bed, so.
I figured.
Cool. Well, thank you. It's so good to meet you, Jen. I'm totally going to look up you and your DIY.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
And welcome, Serena.
Hey, Serena.
Hi.
So those that don't know, Serena is from Thrift Diving, and she's another DIY blogger and has mad skills. She also is a Duluth Trading Company model. She was selected last year or this year?
Last year, 2015.
Yeah. So we kind of have a celebrity in our midst right now.
How was the process? That sounds so cool.
It's kind of funny. They actually invited me to participate. I didn't even know that they were having the contest, but we had some promotions that we were doing together, and this was spring of last year, and they said, hey, just to let you know, we've got this Duluth Trading 2015 model search thing. We think you'd be great. Why don't you apply? I'm like, sure. I totally didn't think that I was going to be accepted, or one of the finalists. But I got the email, and I was like, oh my gosh. So they flew us to Utah, Utah, and we did a test shoot. And from there, they've booked me on a couple trips. In fact, I just got an email today, and they want me to come to Wisconsin. We're going to do some, I guess there's some sort of video project they're putting together. So, okay, how can I lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks? All that summer eating has caught up to me.
Oh, I know it. It happens to the best of us.
That's true. Although I find I eat more during the winter, and I swear it's that hibernation thing. Bears put on weight so they can sleep through the winter. I think I do more winter eating.
I think there's something to it, but in San Diego we have no excuse.
Wow.
We have no cold to deal with.
I think I do year-round eating. Oh.
Yeah. Yep, pretty good at that. Well, Serena, we wanted to get you going on some questions, and Brittany, this is one of her questions, but she wanted to know if you always see potential in ugly things.
You know what? I do. I really do. I think I've always loved thrift stores. I've just always loved thrift stores. When I was in high school, you know, a lot of kids, they were like popular. I was not popular in high school by any means. And, you know, after school, the kids would go to their friend's house. Well, I was going to the thrift store looking for like thrifted dresses so I could like cut the hems and do something cool and funky. So I've just always loved old stuff. And you know, it's really funny because when I bought my house, and I think I told you this, Brittany, one year when I saw you at the Haven conference, your blog was the first blog that I found right after I bought my house in 2010. And I had been blogging about, you know, family and pregnancy on a password-protected Google like blogger site. I had no idea people were like blogging for people to see. And I found Brittany's site and I was like, wow, people are blogging about their homes. I'm going to blog about this old 1973 home. And yeah, so that's how I got started. So yeah, even from being a teenager to finding my first home, I just see the potential in ugly things. And sometimes I take on more than I should because I see such potential. I kind of forget, like, oh, I have to do real work to make it look like that. But I do. I think everything can be changed, and you just have to look beyond what you see and think of how beautiful it can actually look. So I do.
That's really cool. So
That's
you
a nice skill.
thrift stores at really young, and you still go to thrift stores now. Can you give me an example of like what you might take from a thrift store and flip?
Oh gosh, anything. Oh, let me tell you something that was really, really interesting. This is one of the projects that I'm most proud of because I think it was most creative. So I was at the thrift store one day, and I tend to be inspired when I see groups of things together because it just kind of sparks something like, oh, look at all these like wooden bowls. So one day I was at the thrift store and I saw all these. Have you seen like those wooden salad bowls? You know, like the hand carved ones. Yes. Yeah. So I saw a whole group of them, and I stood there for a good 10 minutes. And I'm like, what could I make from this? And I bought them. And you know, when you go to like Home Depot and you see those bun feet, you know, if you're going to do a woodworking project, well, you know, bun feet are like $11 a piece. So I got these wooden bowls, and I should have sent you the link for that. Got these wooden bowls, drilled a hole in it, and the shape of them looked exactly like bun feet. So I built this. Yeah, so I built this this little bench with like three compartments to put baskets, like decorative baskets for storing toys, and I put those wooden feet on the bottom and painted them to look like bun feet. They were like 99 cents each.
Seriously.
Oh, so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see the link to that sometime.
I should have sent you the link to that. I wasn't even thinking about that, but no, that's one of the projects that I think is most creative. And I did another one where I had found this knife block, and again, it was at the thrift store. It was this group of knife blocks, and I was like, oh, I could do something with this. So I bought it, and I turned it into a DIY crayon caddy for my 4-year-old, and then I added these little 2-hole straps, you know, these metal straps on the back and the sides to put scissors and paintbrushes, and I don't know, it kind of took off online. So I just love seeing groups of things together because then I get inspired.
Wow, so we can find this on your website.
Yeah, I'm going to find that picture of that too. That is definitely one of my favorite projects. Wait till you see this. It's really cool.
Oh, I would love to see it.
You mean the knife block?
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll bring it on.
So have you actually ever pulled anything out of a dumpster, Serena? Or is it out yours?
I have. You know, I used to work on a military base. And one day after work, I was walking to my car, and there were these 3 patio tables, and I was like, oh, I gotta get them. And it was a Friday, and I did not have my minivan. So I was thinking, there's no way these are going to be here, you know, if I come back over the weekend. Well, took out the seats of the van, went back, and all 3 of them were still there, and I only had space for one because it was so large. So I painted it. I did like this beautiful hand-painted flower, and maybe Brittany will have pictures of that, but it turned out good.
Tell me which one that was.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So it's a knife block, and you just drilled holes bigger for crayons.
I did, and I used washi tape because you can still see the slats where the knives go, and so if you cover it up with washi tape, you can't see like the extra, you know.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and and sort of like what Jen was talking about, when you see a project that, an idea that inspired people, like I've seen people do this similar idea now with, oh gosh, I think they use it for like thread holder. They use maybe like chopsticks or something and put like, they like a spool holder when you're doing like sewing and things like that. So I've seen some other like spin-offs from this, which is so cool. So
That's cool.
yeah, it's one of my
I
favorites.
mean, what was the other one you were talking about? What should I search for?
Oh, search for bench with storage, like DIY bench with storage, and you should see it. It should come up.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this? Blogging and reading?
Well, I've been blogging for like 11 years, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? If I had known back in 2005, oh my gosh. But blogging on thrift diving since 2010.
Okay.
And it's really just been, it started as just blogging about my home. And, when we bought our house, we had spent all of our money buying our house. We didn't have any money left over to decorate. And, I mean, seriously, it was like this thought, like, wow, okay, we can afford the mortgage, but how can we decorate? So I turned to thrift stores. I always had loved, yeah, that's the bench with the feet.
Oh, cute. Those are bowls? Oh, my God.
Oh, check it out. Yeah, look.
Oh, my gosh. So cute.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I love that. I was inspired by the shape.
Yeah, you saved a lot of money, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I found those buffet warmers, those metal racks that you see there.
Uh-huh.
Those were, and I didn't realize what they were. And I posted it on my Facebook page, like, does anybody know what these are? And one of my readers, she's like, oh, those are buffet warmers. You can totally line those with wood. And so that's what I did. I put scrap wood inside of them, and so now, like, my kids' toys.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
And I just cut up the size.
That's so awesome. You are so creative.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it's funny because I know, well, I'm kind of answering the questions that you had asked Jen, but a lot of times when I'm working on things, I don't even realize what it's going to look like. I feel, and that's kind of the coolest thing about, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm so passionate about like the creative process that happens, when you're working on a project and you're like, oh, I didn't realize I could do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You and Jen, I think, are on the opposite spectrum of that.
Really?
I have a guess based on this conversation. She seems very much planned and get everything I need.
Oh, yeah.
What this I have, what can I make it? It's interesting.
Yeah, I love it. There was a project that I did that was really, and this is something else that I should have told you about beforehand, but there was an IKEA cart that, and I'm not even sure what I even called it on the post, but there was an IKEA cart that I found, and I was changing it into something for like tax season. Well, it had these little slats on the bottom, right? So I cut the slats off, ran them through can't even think of the word of it. But anyway, I turned it into like a hanging file cart just by like reusing the slats from the bottom.
I found it, although I found it on hang on, I'll show you. I found it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool. It's like one of those things where I totally wasn't even thinking of this. I was just going to paint it and stencil like files on the front. Yes, that's it. That's it. So all those slats from the second row, I took those out, and then I built them up on the side and ran it through, gosh, why can I not think of that tool?
Like a router?
Yes. I ran it through the router with the router table, and just created a little groove there. So now, anything related to my business, any like receipts, I just file it in there.
Super cool. Wow.
Yeah, I love that when that happens. So just cool things like that. Like that's really kind of where I get my inspiration is I have to be in the middle of a project, and then that's when inspiration like really kind of takes off for the most part.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I
So
totally get that.
now, Serena, I'm curious, how much do you involve your kids? Because I know you have, is it 2 boys or 3 boys?
I got 3 boys. I got
You
3.
got 3. She's one up me. How much do you involve them in your DIY projects?
You know, I was just having a conversation with a friend about this last week. You know, I'm working on this huge outdoor makeover right now, which, Sarah, you might find interesting because I have never done anything big on the outside, and I'm hauling big 40-pound bags of rocks. It's crazy. But I was having a conversation with a friend telling her about this project, and she said, well, you know, are you getting your, you getting your kids to help? I'm like, no, they're doing electronics. And she really brought something to my attention that, you know, our kids, we set an example for our kids. Like, we're passing down skills to them, not just teaching them how to DIY, right? Like teaching them how to, you know, be men almost, you know, like teaching them how to do these projects when they get older and they've got a family of their own. But it's getting them involved in the process. Like, it's not just mommy out there doing this project. It's bringing kids in so they feel connected to their house, so that they have some responsibility and pride in what they've done. And so I really took that to heart. And so just yesterday, you know, I told the kids, nope, put the electronics down, you're coming out here, you're going to help me. Well, of course, my 6- and 4-year-old, they grab the hose and they're like spraying each other. So I realized they're not the age to get help. But my 10-year-old, he was really involved. Like, he's lifting these big stones, like folding them up, and I'm packing paver sand underneath, and you know, he was really involved in this. So now I can always say to him, like, wow, look at this walking path like that we did together. So I don't involve them as much, but I'm at the point where I'm starting to involve them more because, like, I want to pass something on to them, and I want them to know that, like, you can do these things, this is how you do it, and it's a family affair. But you know, another thing too, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I actually wanted, at first, before she enlightened me, I wanted to do it myself because I wanted to say, well, look what I did all by myself. And I don't know if you guys suffer from that too, where, you know, you want to take all the credit because you're so powerful, like, you know.
No, I'm beyond that. I'll take as much help as I can get just so I can get through it.
You guys have learned the lesson. I'm still, like, I'm at the point where I'm like, why am I carrying these bags myself? My husband's in there watching TV.
Oh yeah, I'm always open to help.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. So I have not involved them, but I'm at the point where I'm understanding that it's my role as a parent to involve them.
So one easy thing that I do with my boys is I always keep my scraps. Like, not always, but I keep a pile of scraps, and that they each have their own hammer and they have their own eye protection, and they build all kinds of amazing things for their. It's always stuffed animals. Like my son's building a stuffed animal mansion right now.
Oh wow!
That one's just out of cardboard, but you know, building, it's kind of the same principle. Whether you're using recycling or wood, you still have to have supports and, you know, kind of know. So I always leave scraps, and recycling is always fair game for them. It's amazing how much they'll entertain themselves doing that kind of thing.
Yes. I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, I think it's just a matter of ripping the electronics out of their hands and just bringing them outside. Because you're right. I think once you get them outside and they know, like, oh, here's my pile, then I think they sort of take the lead. But we just have to get them off of that electronic and just pull them out there with us.
Yeah. So the other thing too is a couple years ago, my sons did Camp Invention, and they asked for all kinds of small appliances and keyboards, things that are broken they don't use anymore, and the kids like take them apart. So I started saving like my blender that died. I'm like, hey boys, do you want to take this apart before I throw it away? And they're like, yeah, sure. So they can see how things are made. So it's kind of interesting, the things that you can do to engage your kids and help them learn, you know, skills and learn how things are put together, and get them off the devices. But it's hard. I agree. It's really hard to get them off the screens.
It's a great babysitter.
Yeah, I know. It really, yeah, says the girl who let them watch probably 3 hours of TV today while I stand in the porch.
Not just me then. Good.
No, although the new Harry Potter book came out, so we got the book, and both of them were devouring it.
Harry Potter book? How did I miss
There's
this?
a new Harry Potter book. Where have you been?
I have no idea. I love Harry Potter. I guess I don't love it that much if I don't know there's a new book.
Well, it's actually the screenplay, and the play is live in London, I believe, but the book is basically the screenplay. So.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old, he's asking for it. I think he's read it like 3 or 4 times now, like the entire complete series.
That's so cool. That's rad. That's really cool to have your kids help DIY and read.
Yes.
So
yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
So using power tools, was there a barrier to get into it, or did you just slide right in, like no problem, or what was your experience with that?
You know, I had my intimidations. I'd always been interested in it, but it wasn't until I went to the Haven conference several years ago, I want to say 3 years ago, and they had hands-on demonstrations, and I'm telling you, I think it was just having someone there to hold my hand and say, okay, this is how you do it. Just, it opened up a whole new world for me, seriously. So that's why, like, whenever I talk to people about how to get started with power tools, I mean, if you've got someone that can show you, that will stand there and just, you know, okay, flip the switch, do this, I recommend that. If not, start with something that I think is less intimidating. I always love to mention a jigsaw. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with a jigsaw, and, you know, you can do something decorative. You can build a piece of furniture. I mean, it's just so flexible, and it's just a little smaller of a tool, so it doesn't feel like it's as intimidating.
Right, right. That's cool. That's a good beginner one.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
What about grinders? You guys, I still get grinders.
Okay. I just used a grinder for the first time. I've never used one before. I loved it.
I use them sometimes, but it's like every time I use one, I'm like super like, okay, like make sure like hold it. It's gonna like, even though like, but just I don't know why they're intimidating.
Yes, if you're using a metal, the sparks flying is pretty intimidating.
But that looks awesome.
Yeah, but I do know one of our contractors that we used to use. I called him a couple years ago and I said, hey, you know, we're getting ready to take on this project. Would you like to come and, you know, bid? And he said, well, I actually was injured and I'm not working anymore. And I was talking to him about he actually cut off his finger with a grinder.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, all right. And he said, you know what? But he said, it was stupid. I didn't respect the tool. I'd used it, you know, hundreds of times, and I just got complacent. And so I really believe, like, people who use tools all the time, they do start to get complacent about it, and they don't kind of keep what I call a healthy fear. And so I think people that are just starting out and using tools, you're actually less likely to injure yourself because you're thinking through it and trying to keep yourself safe.
Yeah. I have a contractor who has a cut up here all the way up his face.
Oh my gosh.
And a grinder, and he was cutting something, and somebody bumped the table, and it made it jump, and it rolled back.
Oh gosh.
In his face up there. I'm like, oh.
Oh my gosh. That is scary.
Can I just tell you guys that I have like a crazy picture of me with a grinder? Brittany, I think I sent you the picture. Well, I didn't send you the picture, but I sent you a link to a project that I did for my laundry room makeover.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second.
In that post of me with this grinder, it was the first time that I used a grinder.
Yeah.
I was cutting. I didn't have a wet saw, so I was cutting it with
oh, here it is. Hang on.
I was so like tough because I'm using a grinder. I'm glad I didn't know about those stories.
Really?
I enjoy. Nice. It's a great tool, though. I really like using it. I think it's good to have a healthy fear of it, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it's almost like you really need one of those full face masks because you're right. There's little stuff that are coming back, like hitting you in the neck, and it's so scary.
You can also like.
I like this picture though better. The knee pads.
That's awesome. So like the way that you hold the grinder too can direct where you're throwing all your trash as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or all like the sparks and all the debris.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've only had to use it twice, and both were when I was doing flooring projects. I did my kid's bathroom, and of course I had to cut around the flange for the toilet. And yeah, aside from doing those, like, I would be glad to not have to use that again.
I do have to show you, this is the laundry room that she was working on. So here's the before.
Oh no, Brittany, you got to show them like the real before, like
oh, hold on,
nasty before.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Is that it?
Yes.
That's the real nasty before. That looks like my laundry room now. Well, the clothing everywhere. And then this is the after.
Nice.
The coolest thing about this project is that table, that folding table. What I did was I went to the thrift store and I found it was $35 for a nice table. And I removed the, it had a leaf, and so I removed the center leaf and had two parts of that table, and then I just mounted it to the wall side by side. So it just made like this long, and then I stenciled the top, and it's just.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Is there a better picture of it? Let me scroll down.
I think if you scroll down, you'll see.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there you see. It's a little dark because, you know, I should have probably updated that. But I really wanted to do something long with storage underneath. And that's why, like, in the before picture, you saw all those clothes on the floor. There was nowhere to put the dirty clothes. Well, technically, they should have been washed and folded away. But you know how it is when you're working.
I'm sorry. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly. No. So, yeah, but you can hide them when you have, like, a long folding table like that. You can get some cute baskets. I got these at Home Goods for, like, maybe $20 each, and just toss all your dirty laundry underneath, and it still looks clean, even if you've got, like, 2 loads that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I love the wall color. Do you know what, is it a purplish color? It's really pretty.
It is. It's like a lilac, and I had it custom made, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something pretty. So if I'm in there folding clothes, which is I hate to fold clothes, I wanted to, at least fold. And if you scroll down, there's a really cool, easy project that I did, which is it's a DIY tablet holder. So what I did was it's so easy. You just take a couple pieces of wood and you just nail it up there on the wall. And you can put your tab. I think if you just keep going, I do super massive long posts. I put everything in there, so your finger gets tired. But it's right towards the end. But it's kind of cool. So if you're doing a lot of like folding of clothes, I don't have anywhere to put my iPad. There it is. Yeah. So I mean, you can use your scrap material. And I just had some elastic, and I just used the.
Oh, cute idea.
Yeah, and I just used the stapler and just stapled some elastic on there. Just, make sure if you have a cover on your iPad, make sure you take the measurements with the cover. Otherwise,
helpful hints.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, like so when I can entertain myself and watch Netflix when I'm doing laundry.
That sounds nice.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's so cool. That's really awesome. Hey, I have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever used porcelain tiles like for dry erase?
No, I haven't. I've seen it, but I haven't.
Okay, I was just curious. I was walking through Home Depot and I was like, I needed to make a scoreboard, and I was like, this seems slick. So I bought some dry erase. Like I tried to Google, I didn't really see all that much with it, but yeah, I started to use the dry erase on it, and it works great.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
I actually just saw, I was at Sherwin-Williams and I saw they have the DryErase Paint. Have you seen that?
Oh, no. I know they have the chalkboard, but now they got dry erase.
DryErase Paint, yes.
Wow.
And you can paint virtually any surface and make it dry erase. Drywall.
Dry erase. But so these are the porcelain tiles. I just put them in here. You can draw.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, let me see if I can get far enough that you can see it. But that's the scoreboard wall, and you can
Now, is this still your parents' backyard that you've been working on, or is this one of your clients?
No, this is my parents' yard. I'm here a lot.
But
yeah, I figured that would be like pretty good. Now the only downside is you got to scrub it really, really tough to get through, or you got to use this stuff to get it off. So I'm thinking about putting a sealer on the porcelain to help.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I like that.
You see that? I mean, it comes off if you scrub it hard enough, but it leaves a little bit of a stain. So have you guys had experience with sealing porcelain or no?
No, but I have a door, an old door that I put in my kitchen, and it's one of those like the window on the top half, and we use that for dry erase, so it's glass. That I don't have any problems with.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I guess you could put glass on top of it or plexi, but yeah, maybe try sealing it so it doesn't.
I mean, it works good enough. If I spray it with a bottle, like it comes off. You just gotta like get it. I think it's more that there's just like small pores that the color's getting into.
You little saliva.
No, I was totally going to say you could just.
I almost thought about doing that, but then I was like, we're on live video. Then we make it.
Saliva has some amazing properties, let me tell you.
Right? Oh man. Oh man. Well, shoot. Well, it's almost 6:30. I know we don't see any comments on the here, but we will be able to see them when we shut down. It's so silly.
Yes, and you know what I think we should do until we get the comments working? I think anyone who's watching this, if you guys wouldn't mind tweeting or sharing this, the link for this this chat, we'd love. And what we'll do is we'll look on Twitter and see who's shared, and we'll pick one of you guys to win the $100 Duluth trading gift card. Which I know, Serena, you have your favorite Duluth piece of clothing is?
That would be, I believe it's called the flapjack jacket.
Is it plaid? I think you and I have the same one.
Yeah, is it like the
It's flannel.
grayish? Yes.
Yes, and it's. I think yours is. It's like blue and brown plaid.
I do a lot. Like during the wintertime, I'm always like out in the garage. It's cold, and it really keeps you warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably my favorite.
It's hard to think about cold right now, but yes, it's amazing. Like the Duluth clothing that I have, I either bring it out when it's like absolutely really, really hot, like the armadillo shirts, or like Serena said, she's got that flapjack, that flapjack jacket. Can't talk. Help me. But I also have a parka. I have the winter parka with the like faux fur-lined hood, and when it is 0 here, I have that sucker on, and I am in my own little biome. I'm totally warm. Sitting out at the bus stop.
I don't think I could justify having one out here.
No, you probably couldn't, but if you ever,
Travel.
if you travel, if you come visit me in the winter, and it doesn't get that cold here.
Yeah.
Where are you again? Where do you live?
I'm in North Carolina, in Raleigh.
I'm going to be down there.
Oh, really? When?
Yeah, September 8th for the home show. I'm presenting at the home show.
Oh, are you? Oh, well, yeah, let me know when you're here. I'll take you out to dinner.
Awesome. I'll let you know. I think it's like the 8th, 9th, 10th. I did that Thursday through Sunday.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'll be here. I'll be around.
Cool. I'll look you up.
Awesome. Well, Serena, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for taking time out of your evening.
Definitely.
Hopefully your husband got the kids in bed.
Oh, they're upstairs watching a movie.
Oh. Where
come downstairs.
Right. Now, where are you located?
I am in Silver Spring, Maryland, so it's like...
That's right. So you're not so far away. My parents live in Vienna, Virginia.
Oh, okay. That's like maybe an hour from here.
Yeah, well, depending on traffic, right?
Yeah, it could be like a 2-hour drive.
Right. Well, thank you again, Serena and Sarah. I think this was definitely one of my most fun DIY Courage chats because I feel like I had my posse here.
You had your what?
My posse, my DIY blogger posse.
Yeah, totally.
And I think, Serena, I'm going to see you in a couple days, too, at Haven, right?
No, I'm not going to be at Haven this year. I went to Snap, and so I'm kind of conferenced out for now, and then
bummer.
I went to another conference in September, so
all right.
that's why I'm Haven this year. But I'll be there.
Well.
If I go to the conference, what conference should I go to?
Haven.
Haven?
Yeah.
Yeah, between Haven and Snap. Haven, although the food's really good at Snap.
I know. Because they're all crafters, so everything is just...
Yeah. So is it all for bloggers for the most part?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You don't have to be, but most people, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Sarah, I definitely want to go to the hardware show. Was it the National Hardware Show or the... What's it called?
Oh, in Vegas.
Yeah, I know I missed it, but I really want to go to that. So.
Yeah.
Is it always in Vegas?
They might be moving it to Orlando, but
That would be good.
Oh, I mean, but, you know, Vegas is so close to me.
I know, but Orlando's closer for me.
Yeah, no, the National Hardware Show. I mean, it's mostly products, but I enjoy walking around and seeing what's new. So
Yeah, so hopefully I'll meet up with you at one of those.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I would like to go to one of these Haven things or whatever they call them. I've heard so much about it. I'm like, I don't understand what it is, but it sounds cool. Like you learn things.
You learn things. It actually, you do learn a lot. Yeah, especially you could take some of the courses on the social media. That would be beneficial. Yeah.
So do you guys go as like participants or speakers or guests or?
Both. So
As a participant, but I did do something with Ryobi at Snap. But yeah, for me, usually just a participant.
It's cool. Real cool. Real cool.
I started going as a participant, but I think I end up speaking each time. So I'm actually presenting, working with brands this time. So
Where? At Haven?
yes, at Haven. Yep.
Very nice, Brittany.
Yep.
You know what, Brittany? Oh, I wish I could be there because I was perusing your site today, looking for this, how bloggers should work for the whole work.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to talk with you offline to see if you had some advice because I kind of need a contract and I need like a draft. You should totally make that up and sell it to bloggers.
Oh. Well, I'm happy to do it for free, but yeah, definitely contact me offline. We can talk about it. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, we should probably head out, but have a good evening, guys. Thanks again.
This was fun.
All right.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
All right. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.